go. Ready, set, go. Let's go. Hey, can I get to the yams? Sweet yams. Show me the way, 'cause I got bills to pay. Yeah. Can I get to the yams? Sweet yams. Show me the way, 'cause I got bills to pay. Yeah. Can I get to the yams? Have the early for the yams. Done it with no friends that they're going to pretend. Yeah. For some starters that can do it all the time. Oh, the yams are all I know. I feel the risen destruction. It's sending me songs to the world. Can I get to the yams? Trying to get to the bands. Money in my pockets here with a brother the pen. Something about them yams I just don't understand. And I'm telling them, can I get to the yams? Sweet yams. Show me the way, 'cause I got bills to pay. Yeah. Can I get to the yams? Sweet yams. Show me the way, 'cause I got bills to pay.
Solid Steel Wrestling presents KliqBait Wrestling. What is going on, peoples? This be your boy Smith. As always, joined by my North American Thick Boy tag team partner, Mattitude22. What's going on, Matt?
This has been a very weird time for wrestling. Like, not just today, but like, I don't know, man. This has been a really like tough couple of weeks. I feel like as a wrestling fan, I feel like we've just been kind of taking some shots, you know?
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess the let's get right into like the big thing going on, and that's CM Punk being fired from AEW. Just got the news of this dropping today. A press release was put out that Tony Khan released CM Punk terminated. In fact, the word was used, and I mean, like I said, I don't take these things personal. Like, I think this is all stemming from the whole Jack Perry situation that went out at All In last week. Again, everybody's gonna look at it from two different sides: Punk side, Jungle Boy side, or Jack Perry side. And it's just like, I don't know. I guess I guess Tony Khan decided he didn't want to deal business with him anymore. Hold on. I don't know if they can hear. Can y'all hear Matt? Give me a second. Let me make sure. Just making sure. Give me a second. Check the audio here. Alright, that's what I thought. Where were you?
Sticks a little bit.
Alright, talk now.
Titties.
There we go. Titties is good.
All right. I so like I was saying, well, I was saying it to you. Yeah, so supposedly the latest story that's making the rounds is that Punk kind of approached Jack Perry backstage, got in his face, and then Jack Perry gave some kind of excuse, and then supposedly Punk sucker punched him and then started choking him, and then Tony Khan tried to get involved, telling CM Punk to let him go, and then supposedly Punk lunged at Tony Khan. I don't know, man. I feel like I was kind of saying to you before, real quick. I don't think AEW is dead, Alex. I don't think they're dead, but they're definitely taking a hit. But because Punk was their number one merchandise guy, even up until last week. Even until last.
Hold on a second, Matt. Man, get this bullshit off here and put the wrestling back on. Watching
No,
bullshit Wonder Woman over here. Get that shit out of here.
I don't know.
All
It,
right.
it, it, the whole situation is just unfortunate. You know.
Ah man, listen, who knows? Everybody's all talking out, oh, he going to WWE and this and that. I'm like, listen, I don't know. And honestly, when it comes to CM Punk, I'm at the point where I don't care. Like the dude can't keep him hands to himself. He's sensitive. Everybody around him sensitive. I really don't care anymore. Like, okay, you give somebody words of wisdom, they don't want to follow it. They want to hurt himself. Let them, Punk. Let them. And if they want to talk this shit, let them talk their shit. But you know what?
Yeah.
Everybody out here too goddamn sensitive with like you now costing yourself a job over here.
Yeah. Like you definitely can't be putting your hands on someone backstage.
Just cause Jungle Boy want to run his mouth, okay, let him. And then, like I said, if you a man about it, then step to him like a man and like, yo, what was that all about? But
Yeah.
regardless of the fact, it's just like, look here, you sitting there saying you want to teach the young wrestlers, you can do that. If they don't want to take the lessons, then let them fail on their own. The ones that
Yeah.
want to listen, let them listen. The ones that don't you can't sit there and try to fight everybody to listen to what you got to say.
I feel uh I feel like I said this to you before we went live. I feel like I'm a person, and I don't mean this in any kind of offensive way to anybody. I don't want anyone to kind of take this too seriously, but because I'm a fan of Punk. I like Punk. I think the show is better with him on it. Right? Like that was the whole point of like Collision, right? I digress. It feels for me like it feels like I'm stuck in like a toxic relationship with CM Punk where I I I wanna support him and I wanna watch him wrestle, but it's like he keeps screwing up and it's like he keeps letting me down. You know when they tell you like don't meet your heroes? This is what I feel like. Like I feel like one of my favorite guys and it's just like he keeps letting me down. And it's like they had the whole thing at Brawl Out, and then people were saying after Brawl Out he should get fired, and then they didn't, and they brought him back, and it hasn't even been like, has it even been 3 months since he's been back?
Mm-mm.
Maybe barely 3 months, 4 months, and
I
then
don't
it's
know.
like,
It makes you just really wonder like the leadership at AEW. There's clearly no locker room leaders. There's clearly no real leadership that you know You can't keep your champion under control. You can't keep the rest of the talent under control. You already know that there's gonna be the thing of like, how does Punk get fired? But nothing happens to Jack Perry, even though it's like, I mean, like I said, I wasn't this. I don't know who started. You know, people could say this person did this and that person did that. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But it's like, you know, if one person's gonna be held accountable, then both parties should be held accountable. Again, it's one of those
Agreed.
things where
Agreed.
it's like, this is another thing of a hangman thing where it's like motherfuckers want to go on camera and talk that shit and then get shocked when the motherfucker you was talking shit about on camera got something to say to you backstage.
Seeing, and
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing of
yeah,
like it. You're kind of you're kind of instigate, not even instigating. You're antagonizing because it's like, okay, if the premise of this whole thing started from CM Punk trying to go, hey, you know, instead of hurting yourself going through real glass, you know, get you some fake glass so you know do less damage. Which I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing to say to anybody. You trying to do them a
no, and
favor, but
look what happened. Look what happened at All In. They did the spot with the real glass, and both guys, their backs got horribly cut. Like it's such a weird thing, and I feel like this is the problem with AEW. It's a locker room that consists mostly of young guys that have just kind of been on the indies, and I feel like they don't know how things work. They don't know how the business works. Like fuck, when AEW first started, Ricky Steamboat tried to give advice to Hangman Page, and Hangman Page said, "Hey, I'm already on AEW. There's really nothing you could teach me. I don't need to learn anything from you." That's your fucking Hangman Page, man. Like that's and I feel like that's the attitude of these young guys, because I feel like there's no, like, the AEW locker room needs an Undertaker. They need somebody to kind of teach these young kids how things work. And I was listening to comments from Bully Ray, and Bully Ray was talking about CM Punk getting fired, and Bully Ray was kind of saying like, like, somebody needs to somebody needs to teach Jack Perry respect, like, because right now he's just coming off like a young punk, and somebody needs to teach him that you don't go on camera and say shit like that. And Bully was saying, like, back in my day, like, if a young kid did something like that, we would deal with it. They would get their ass beat, and then they would learn. And, like, I'm not saying that's right, but I'm saying somebody needs to teach all these young kids the right ways to do things, the right and wrong ways to do things. Do I
well, see,
think
that's
it
the
was
problem though. They're brought up. They're coming in this generation where it's like they don't want to go by the old ways because to them it was archaic. It was all these other things, but it was like, nah. It was kind of a thing of respect. Of here's a person who's done what you've done, so he understands what you're about to go through, and he's like, hey, I've already done this, and there's a way to do this, so
yeah,
you can take less mileage off of your body. So I'm trying to help you out where it's like, hey, you can still have the good spot and woo the crowd, but you don't have to kill yourself doing it.
like
And
Darby Allin. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to derail your train of thought. I just wanted to add to it. Like, did you see Darby Allin saying like his spine is fucked up now because he did that coffin drop onto the steel coffin? He was tweeting saying like his spine is like fucked up now.
yeah, so it's like, okay, maybe don't do that shit no more.
Darby Allin is gonna retire before Sting because he keeps doing these like dangerous spots. And That's what I mean. I feel like they need a locker room leader. They need to teach someone to kind of
But
teach
see,
these
there's a problem
kids.
with that. They can't have a locker room leader when you have a guy like Tony Khan who's like, he's kind of that mindset of like clearly like he's like I said, he's too much of a fan and not a business owner because it's
Yeah,
like you got dudes like Paul White there, you got dudes like Mark Henry there. I'm pretty sure if they were really given the reins, they'd be like, yo, don't do that shit no more.
hmm
Stop doing that. You don't need to do that shit every week. That shit's not special no more, and you just gonna fuck yourself up at the end of the day.
yeah. Ian kind of brought up that point, and yeah, I totally agree. I think Tony Khan needs to stop being one of the boys, and he needs to start being a boss. But I think that's the different. Vince McMahon knew well enough that hey, locker room issues, Taker will deal with it. Ask anybody that was in that locker room. Like ask anybody about wrestlers court. Like if there was an issue with the boys, you would go to wrestler court and and Taker would sort it out, and that's how you dealt with things. To a lesser extent, I think that's what AEW needs. They need someone like Paul White in that locker room to teach these kids like, hey, you can do it this way and not fucking kill yourself. But it just seems like
Like,
there's an attitude where these guys they think just because they're in AEW they think they've made it and they have
let me
it's
ask you a
like they
question.
have nothing to learn.
How many like coffin matches or buried alive matches has the Undertaker done in his entirety of his career? You would
A
say
lot.
a lot, but I'm like, if you
A
could
lot.
round it off a number, how many? Like, because I'm pretty sure you can remember most of the people he's faced in any coffin or any casket or buried alive. Like, I can think of,
Maybe like
like, okay,
maybe like
I can name right now. Undertaker, Mark Henry, um, Kamala.
Kane. Oh no, it was Vince McMahon.
That was a buried alive. But the point I'm trying to make is these matches happened compared to Darby Allen. How many coffin casket matches has he had just in the short period of time he's had them?
Oh, at least 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's just not special no more because you haven't given anything time to breathe. Undertaker never had a match every other week. No, them things were spread out and were purposeful. He wasn't doing buried alive matches every fucking show. Like Darby Allen, like almost every feud he's had to date has had a casket match. He had one with Andrade. He had one with Buddy Murphy. I
Ethan
mean,
Page.
yeah, he's had a casket match with just about every person. That shit's not special anymore. And then when you're gonna sit there and do coffin drops on top of hard ass caskets, yeah, you're gonna fuck your shit up. And then you doing that shit on the apron, like, bro, you don't need to do this every fucking show. It ain't even a thing about it's gonna get old. It's gonna be a thing of like you're not gonna be able to do it soon. Like you just knocking the clock back faster like that. And for what? And for what? Like the match wasn't that great or it was okay and you sitting there now with a fucked up spine.
Yep.
Now you're gonna have to sit there and figure out how to wrestle a different style. And that's the thing, like these indie dudes, like I said, AEW's problem is that AEW still acts like a goddamn independent promotion. They act
hmm
like they some indie fed, they some PWG shit. Because it's like, y'all still over here doing all this indie shit, but like that's cool, but y'all should save some of that shit for special occasions. Make it mean something. Like I said, there shouldn't be a reason that everybody's bleeding every fucking week, bro.
And like we're seeing that we're seeing that with Jeff Hardy right now, where Jeff Hardy can only do half the moves he used to do because his body is fucked up from doing all that shit when he was younger.
Now,
But
what would happen is he would either have to do one or two things: either stop wrestling or change his style.
mm,
Like, look at Steve Austin. Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Stunning Steve Austin are not the same two wrestlers. Because after his shit got broken, he couldn't wrestle the way he used to wrestle back then. So he had to change his style. You say same thing with like Daniel Bryan. He has to kind of change his style because he can't do the shit he used to do because he got fucked up. So it's like, all right, I can't be doing this, I can't be doing that, but I can still do this, I can still do that, I can incorporate this, I can add that. You know what I'm saying? You have to change your style up and just be like, all right, I can't be diving headbutt. I can't be doing all the high risk shit, but I can change my offense and just be like a ground and pound or a submission specialist. I just can't. I just don't do the high risk no more. You know what I mean?
yeah, uh, yeah, I agree. Pivoting back to the Punk thing, I'm gonna say it like this: like, I'm not happy about it. Uh, because I'm not a fucking hater. I'm not a hater, and I wish it didn't. I wish it didn't go this way. I wish it would have been better. But it just, I don't know. It just, I'm sad, but maybe it's for the best because I feel like, I don't know, man. Like, it feels like after Brawlout, it feels like they brought him back and it was his second chance. And ever since they brought him back, it just seems like it's been one negative story after another. It just seems like every week there was like another negative incident popping up related to CM Punk.
Yeah.
That sucks, man. And I feel like if you're not like, I feel like it's okay to feel bad that things didn't work out the way we wanted them to. Uh I'm glad we had this final run for CM Punk. I'm glad he came back and I'm glad he had a run in AEW. Do I wish it would have ended better? Of course, but I don't know, man. At a certain point, you have to ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? And I feel like this is that instance where yes, CM Punk produces good matches. Yes, CM Punk sells merchandise. Yes, CM Punk draws ratings. Yes, he sells pay-per-views. He does all of that stuff. But is it worth it? But is it worth it to have him? Like, let's say they would have brought him back after this incident. How long would it be before the next incident?
Yeah, seems to be
Like, let's say
like I said, the cats out here just sensitive. They can't. They want to give out criticism, but they can't take criticism. Or
exactly.
everybody got a chip on their shoulder, like they know what they're doing because I'm on TV now. So, like I said, there's no leadership in that room. There's
Yeah.
a guy that cuts a check, but he ain't a boss. He ain't a
It, it,
boss.
it's yeah. It's just it's again, like the whole thing with Brawlout. Like it all got started because Hangman Page Hangman Page during a promo exchange, Hangman Page goes into business for himself and shoots on CM Punk, and then he gets confronted and he gets offended about it, and then it's the same thing here where if Jack Perry keeps his mouth shut during the pre-show, there's no incident at all in because again, like another young kid in this business that maybe thinks he's too good to learn from veterans because he shoots his mouth. Did he deserve to kind of get punched? I don't know. I don't know because here's another thing. Here's another thing. Y'all haters, y'all fucking haters, and If you think I'm talking to you, it's probably because I am. If you're one of those people that's that's salty about Hangman Page got a sucker punch backstage. If you're one of those people that's kind of being like, oh yeah, Punk punched him backstage, he deserved this, but you're supporting when the 2005 Royal Rumble when Hardcore Holly and Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit beat the shit out of Daniel Puter and shoot it on him, shot on him. I don't know what the plural is for shooting on someone. You know what I'm saying? If you think it's okay that they beat the shit out of him in the Royal Rumble because he needed to learn respect, and CM Punk gave Jack Perry a punch in the face because he needed to learn respect, you're a fucking hater and you suck. Like listen, like you can't have it both ways, man. You can't say it's okay for guys to shoot on people and beat the shit out of them in the ring because they needed to learn respect, and then when it happens, when CM Punk does it to someone, he's this, oh he's toxic, oh he's that, oh he's a bad man. You know, you gotta kind of, then if that's kind of your stance, you're just a hater, because we talked about this, not that we talked about this maybe last year or something. We talked about them shooting on Daniel Puter in the Rumble. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And I kind of said on this show, I kind of said that I think that's ridiculous. Like, I don't think that's how you handle situations. And a lot of you in the chat kind of came at me and said, "No, that's how things are done in the locker room. That's how things are done. That's how things work." A lot of you in the chat kind of came at me with that. So if you kind of came at me and saying that was okay, and you're kind of saying that CM Punk confronting Jack Perry backstage was not okay, then you're just a hater. I'm sorry. Am I wrong?
Look at man. All I know is this whole thing is it doesn't make anybody look good. Doesn't make CM Punk look good. Doesn't make Jack Perry look good. Doesn't make Tony Khan and AEW look good.
Yeah.
Especially as someone. Sorry, it's that chronic. Especially when you're trying to make yourself the number two wrestling business here in entertainment, and you keep doing all these moves. It's just like it's not a good look. On top of that, like I said, they need to establish some sort of like, all right, whatever. There's a reason why WWE has the system that they have, and now I understand. Now I understand, because it is a thing of like, okay, we want things done a certain way so that we don't find ourselves in these positions. So yeah, we do tell you what to say in the ring. We do restrict what you gonna go out there and talk about, because clearly, without no sense of direction, y'all out here shooting from the hip. And like I said, you in a business where people are ready to give out receipts. So I'm not saying like, hey, does Hangman is Hangman wrong for having an opinion? No, I think he picked the wrong place to do it.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Definitely had the wrong place to do it. Like, I mean, if you gonna if you got something to say, then step to the dude and say your piece, but don't go on a public setting and be on some sunny days type shit and act like motherfuckers don't know what you're talking about. You feel me? Like, wrestling is good for that. Like, listen, you can say something that will go completely over the audience's head, but other motherfuckers in the back know what you're talking about. So you already knew what you was doing. You knew you was ready for some smoke. Problem was, you kind of bitched up in your men's fucking stepped up in your place.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Your men stepped up in your place. Now, in the situation with Jack Perry, same thing. Like, you know what? If the man says something to you, okay, you could take the advice. You could not take the advice. Like I said, that's the choice of all grown men. That's the choice of all adults and human beings. But instead, you did your way, and that's fine. And instead of just continue to go about your business and finish your match, you want to go on a public plate. You want to go on public on camera and come out your face and say some shit as if the motherfucker ain't watching and he don't know what you talking about when you say that shit.
Yeah, yeah, like as if he's not backstage watching the show, like his match is literally next, like as if he's not backstage, and then that's what happens. Like you
Mm,
like I said, that's the mindset I think of these young guys, and that's why they need someone to teach them better,
yeah, because it's like
you
they
know?
don't understand. Like you sitting there talking that hot shit as if the motherfucker ain't paying attention or he can't hear you or they don't know what you mean. Like the joke ain't going over nobody head in the back. Just the motherfuckers out there. Like, cause guess what? When he did that shit, did I know what he was talking about? No. Why? Because I'm not backstage.
Mhm.
So that shit went right over my head. So all that talking into the camera about real glass, real glass. I don't know why you doing that. Did you know why he was doing that?
Nope.
So that was you making a concerted effort to sit here and talk your hot shit personally to the dude in the back. In the back. And
Yeah.
you dealing with a person who's all about paying the dues and the respect, and you sitting there once again. He already went through one fight because motherfuckers was speaking out of pocket on camera. You gonna turn around and do the same shit, and you didn't think he wasn't gonna give you a receipt?
Yeah. And
I'm sorry,
it,
like I
it,
said, it's more
exactly,
kind of
yep.
like you kind of asked for that. And
And
it ain't like you don't know that this motherfucker might not pop off. Like you already know he'll pop off if you go on camera and act like you gonna bitch him out.
yeah, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say this, and maybe some people can relate to this. If you can, then you understand what I'm saying, and if you can't, then just try to understand where I'm coming from, and this is not for me to make myself sound like an internet tough guy, but I come from the streets. Like I grew
You
up.
come from the
I
streets.
Bro, I'm telling you, like I grew up in some very bad neighborhoods, and I know what happens when you run your mouth, because I've seen I've seen people get hurt for running their mouth. I've seen people have their lives drastically altered because they talk too much. Like that's not like I said, I'm not trying to sound like an internet tough guy, but I'm just telling you, like I grew up in bad neighborhoods where people got hurt. Not just people got sucker punched, but people got hurt with. I'm trying to think of trying to choose my words carefully because I know YouTube be like funny sometimes, but I've ran with crews where that, yeah, like that's how you handle things. Like if you are talking and you are running your mouth, you get beat or you get cut or you whatever the case may be. I've seen that shit, and that shit is real. And that's what these kind of these young kids, and not even just in the business but just life in general, these kids, they don't understand that, yeah, if you're gonna shoot your mouth, you're gonna open your mouth, and you're gonna disrespect someone, you're gonna have to answer some point or another. And especially when that motherfucker is your coworker, and he's backstage. You can't think that you're not going to shoot on someone or you're not going to run your mouth and you're not going to have to deal with it at some point. And I've seen it happen. That's life. That's how things get dealt with. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not trying to, maybe some people can relate to that situation, or maybe some people in the chat, maybe you kind of grew up in some not savory places, and maybe you kind of saw some shit. I don't know, but I'm saying for me, I've seen what happens when you run your mouth, and what happened to Jack Perry. That's what happens when you run your mouth. Alex asked a little bit ago, what's next? Retirement? It's hard to say, Alex. It's hard to say. Uh, I think there would still be opportunities for him if he wanted them. If he wants opportunities in pro wrestling, I think there still is opportunity
Hey,
for
is
him.
Collision on at the same? I forgot your Collision's on too. Damn, son.
Bro, I totally forgot about Collision. Do I think he'll go back to WWE? I don't think he will. I don't think he will because I think his biggest problem was with Triple H. But again, in 2023, I'll never say never when it comes to pro wrestling. So I think there is a possibility he could go back to WWE. I don't know. It sort of depends. It sort of depends on if he wants to wrestle or not. Does he still want to wrestle, or has he kind of soured on the business? Also, the question is there still a place for him in the business?
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, you have to wonder: is he just kind of like tainted goods at this point? You know,
Yeah.
like do you think WWE seeing all this stuff happen in their do they want to do they at this point do they want to do business with CM Punk, or are they just like, nah, he's just kind of better. He's just kind of better left alone.
Hey, yo, Do-Rag, you using a Bing server right now? Mm. People use Bing servers. By the way, first match starting it off on here on Payback. We got a steel cage match. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus.
Okay with it. Starting it off big.
What's going on, Mr.
Rampage.
V? Everybody in the chat,
Collision.
appreciate y'all all coming, joining us. We're watching Collision and Payback, I guess. Yeah.
Collision, we have Ricky Starks challenging Ricky Steamboat to a strap match.
Wow, Ricky about to go again.
Yeah, to answer your question, Alex, I can't really give you an answer because he walked away from pro wrestling before he could very much do it again. It's really hard to say. I think there's opportunities for him if he wanted. Like, I think if he was interested in pursuing something with WWE, I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would work with Punk again. But
Yeah.
it seemed like when Punk first came back to AEW, there was a couple of things that he said, and like like I remember him famously saying, I'm no longer gonna go by the voice of the voiceless because this place everybody has a voice, and this is a this is this is a place where people are heard and people's opinions are validated. And then he said things like, I can't wait to work. I want to work with Kenny, and I wanted to work with the Young Bucks, and I want to work with Jungle Boy and such and such. and they're there now. Why aren't I? And he was so positive about AEW, and he was so happy about AEW. And the CM Punk we got post Brawlout was not that CM Punk. Like I think the whole Brawlout thing, I think it really, really just soured him. Like the same CM Punk we got when he came back was not that CM Punk anymore. So I think the likeliest scenario is I think he just fades away into obscurity, and maybe that's just the best thing. Maybe that's just how it should be. Oh baby,
Dragon's back, baby.
got the American Dragon.
Going up against Ricky Starks tomorrow in a strap match.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, while the women are doing it in the cage, let's talk about All Out tomorrow. We got a card for that. We got for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. We got the Better Than You Baby going up against Dark Order, who won the Battle Royal last night to get this title shot. Who you got?
Better Than You, baby.
I think the Dark Order taking it. They going heel now. I think it's time for them to get a bit of a bump.
If it was like Stu and Uno, I would maybe be more inclined. But Silver and Reynolds, I don't think they're taking it.
All right. I'm going with Dark Order.
You think they're gonna win clean, or you think like
I think there'll be
Strong's
some
gonna
shenanigans or
back?
something that cause Better Than You Baby to lose the titles to Silver and Reynolds over here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going with them.
Okay.
Next we got a lot. There's a few matches they got on this card here. We got for the International Championship, we got Orange Cassidy going up against John Moxley.
This is apparently the main event.
This is the main event?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Well, shit. What else are they gonna do? Like, CM Punk was supposed to be the main event, but they fired him. It was supposed to be CM Punk and Ricky Starks in the main event, but they fired him.
So I guess it's the Dragon Danielson and Starks now.
Is it still a strap match?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know. I think
I think Moxley's gotta beat him. Come on.
Yeah. I think yeah. I think somebody at some point has to beat Orange Cassidy. I think probably Mox is gonna like who's if it's not Mox, then who's it gonna be, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Mox is gonna take it.
Yeah, I'm going with Moxley on this one.
Can I just say that that's gonna be a weak main event? Do you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. It is kind of a weak ass main event right there. If it is though, because I hope it's not. But if it is, kind of weak.
I think it is, because what else is gonna be the main event?
Well, we have for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, we've got the champion Samoa Joe taking on former Ring of Honor television champion Shane Taylor. Who you got? Got two big men on this one here.
I'm gonna say Shane Taylor. Because with Collision, I think that Joe is gonna shift more into being like a Collision guy. Like I could see Joe kind of taking Punk's place and Joe becoming the top guy on Collision. I think it's probably time for him to drop the Ring of Honor title and kind of move away from Ring of Honor and just focus on being on AEW full time. Like if Collision's gonna get a world champion, Joe should be a front runner for that. So I don't know. I'm gonna say wild card pick. I think Shane Taylor might take it.
I go with Shane Taylor. Next, we got in a tag match. We've got Eddie Kingston teaming up with Shibata, taking on Claudio Castiglione and Wheeler Utah.
Probably Shibata and Kingston.
Yeah, I'd go with Shibata and Kingston as well.
I think Wheeler Yuta takes the fall.
Yeah.
I think Yuta takes the fall.
Then next we got ourselves an 8-man tag. We've got the Young Bucks teaming up with the AEW World Tag Team Champions, FTR, taking on the Bullet Club Gold. Bang, bang, gang.
I'm gonna say Bullet Club Gold. I'm gonna say Bullet Club Gold because I think FTR and Young Bucks. I don't think they coexist as a team.
Oh, the Acclaim coming out. See what they got
I
to
don't
say.
think they. I don't know. I just don't think they work as a team, as a unit. I think they self destructed. I think the Bang Bang Gang and it takes advantage of that. What they say?
Yeah, he said motherfuckers wanted a taste of his ball sack. Speaking of the Acclaim, what do you think of their custom trios titles?
I like it.
I like them. They're fine. It's different.
I like it.
Like they didn't go too crazy with it. They basically just custom the strap, but didn't touch the plate part. So like the belt's the same. It's just a custom strap. That's all.
But I like that the strap where it pins together. It's like scissors.
Yeah, that is pretty creative.
That's pretty creative. That's pretty smart.
Yeah, but I'm picking Bang Bang Gang to walk away with the win here.
Yeah, I feel like FTR and Young Bucks. I feel like something will happen where they're not gonna coexist, and Bullet Club Gold will capitalize. And didn't they? Didn't correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they win at All Out
Yeah, they
or at
did.
All In?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
so they're riding some momentum right now.
They just got to get some gold on them. That's all.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Kenny Omega taking on Hinosuke Takeshita. Now, Takeshita was part of that match with the Bullet Club Gold. He was the one that got the pinfall over Kenny Omega at All In. Which, by the way, with all this happening, we didn't even really talk about All In because this all happened.
We can talk about it after if you want.
I mean, it was a decent show.
Yeah. It was a good show. Like got a couple of new champions. I think it was a show where everybody that should have won. Like the acclaimed beating House of Black.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it made sense. It's time for House of
Soraya,
Black to kind of. They had it for a little bit. It's time to finish this little story with Billy Gunn and everything. So it was good that they got the title. Like I said, I like the custom they got going on.
yeah, and I'm glad that this is where I eventually hope they'll do it with Dustin. But I'm glad I'm glad they're giving Billy one last run before he permanently hangs up his boots. Like I'm glad we're seeing one more title reign with Billy Gunn. So Saraya winning the women's title definitely makes sense. It was time for Tony Storm to drop the title anyway. I feel like was she even supposed to have the title, or did Jamie Hayter's injury kind of change things?
I don't know, but yeah, Saraya, new champion as well.
The MJF and Adam Cole winning the Ring of Honor tag team titles is what it is. But I'm personally I'm kind of over this storyline. Like I don't really know where the end game is, but let's kind of get there. Bob Cassidy says attended All In. Oh, that's awesome. Good fun. Didn't like Billy Gunn match, but enjoyed the rest. Very sad to hear about Punk. I feel you. I feel you, Bob Cassidy. I'm sad about it too. I feel sad. I feel sad as a CM Punk fan. I feel like he just like I feel like he just keeps letting his fans down, and I feel like people wanted him to come back to wrestling, and then he did, and I feel like it's just been overall negative. So I'm I'm right there with you. I'm sad. And I think it's okay to be sad. I think it's okay to feel sad.
All right, let's go. We
Uh,
got for the hose title, we got the champion Chris Statlander defending against Ruby Soho.
well, we already know Ruby doesn't win titles, so next match.
Yeah, she ain't winning. Next we got Miro taking on Powerhouse.
I think it might be Miro.
Yeah, this is a tough one because it's like both dudes kind of need the win.
Yeah. This is a tough one. I feel like which guy could eat that? Which guy could take the L right now? Probably Hobbs over Miro, right?
Probably because he's been on TV at least more than Miro has.
Yeah, like Miro's just coming back from being off television for like an extended length of time. Probably one of those things you probably in his first and all he's wrestled so far is like a couple squash matches. So in his first main match against a main talent, probably he's not taking the L. Alex says JD cost Finn and Priest tonight. I think you're probably right. I think Priest still leaves with some gold though tonight.
Nah.
I don't think it'll be tag team gold, but I think he's leaving with a
All right.
championship.
For the TNT Championship, we've got Christian accompanied by Lucha Negro defending against Darby Allin.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think Lucha Negro retains.
I want to say Darby Allin, I want to see Darby Allin, and then I want to see Christian beat Darby Allin to become officially the TNT champion.
I mean, that would be cool.
Like I want to see something like that where Darby wins the title and then Christian ends up beating Darby Allin to officially become TNT champion. I don't want it to be like a Tony Storm situation. Like I want Christian Cage to actually win the belt. So I'm gonna take Darby.
I'm sticking with Lucha Negro retaining. Yeah, I mean they going hard in the cell. They trying to get the crowd hot with this cage match here tonight.
Yeah. Hey man, you know what? Much respect for Trish Stratus for being a
And
Hall
I
of
think that's
Famer.
the is that the entire card for All Out?
And yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
might
think
be.
it is. Yeah. All right, that's the card there. Hmm.
Well, yeah, I suspect they might announce one or two more matches tonight, and then we'll probably get like a pre-show card. Or
Yeah.
well, they made Ricky Starks and Brian Danielson, so we know that's gonna happen.
And now Zoe trying to help Trish get out the ring, but that didn't work. But oh, Becky eats the cage.
Never works.
Oh,
Never
mic drop.
works.
And Acclaim retains first title defense. The Acclaim.
Yeah, no big surprise here.
No shock here.
Whatever happened with Andrade? Seemed
Mm.
like he was feuding with House of Black, and then seemed like that feud never really went anywhere.
What the hell?
Seems like that never like that just kind of fizzled out. Like they kind of seemed like he was maybe gonna get some backup or something, and then seems like nothing ever really panned out.
Uh, Trish trying
Only
to climb the
only
cage.
only issue here is come on Billy, you gotta match those boys, man. They can't be out here in pink and you're rocking white. Come on, y'all gotta color coordinate. Y'all a trio now. Y'all a trio, you gotta start acting
Oh,
like a trio.
Becky wins with the manhandle slam off the cage.
Probably hopefully this feud is kind of done now. Becky gets her win, and then let this feud kind of be over and done with. Let this feud kind of be over now.
Yeah, the Dark Order. The Dark Order, man. Becky with a big win, man. Big win off the cage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good for her. Like I said, hopefully this feud is kind of over now. Not that it hasn't been good, but it's, uh, it's kind of been going on a little long. I'm good on seeing another Becky Trish match. So I guess Seth and Nakamura is the main event.
Guess so.
I'm alright with it.
This feud better be over now. No more Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Give Zoe something to do. In fact, Zoe, you should beat her up now so you can make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
You should beat up on Trish now. Yeah, beat up on Trish. Help yourself.
Yeah, she should, right? And
Yeah.
propel yourself into that next stratosphere, no pun intended.
Trish slapping a little
Here we go.
little bit of the taste. A little bit of the taste. She said, get out of my ring, whammon. Yeah, she closing the cage like, nah, bitch. We gonna throw down, son. We getting a bonus match. Bonus match.
Bonus cage match?
Oh, put her to sleep, baby.
Dang.
Now Zoe's on her own. And Trish laid out in the ring sleeping. Decent match from the women.
Yeah.
All right, what would be the next match? What do you got? What we got? What we got? I think it's probably gonna be like
US title?
Yeah.
Get that shit out of the way.
But we still got a fucking Grayson Waller effect. What the fuck?
Stupid.
Like I would like it's like, bro, y'all getting a little loose with these premium live events, and you gonna sit here like, well, we're not gonna give you a wrestling match. We're just gonna give you a talking segment. Like what?
Yeah. Like I said, man, I feel like I've said it before. I'll say it again. You know, since the inception of the network, they already know they got your money. Like they don't have to try that hard anymore.
Watch your back.
They're like, we already got you bitches by the balls. We don't need to do fuck all. We already got you. You ain't canceling nothing.
And on Collision, we got Ozzy Open coming out for tag team action. We got a Vineyard and Nakamura talking about watch your back. Watch your back. I know about your back. Who's Ozzy Open taking on again?
I don't
Nick
know. I don't think they.
Wayne and Nick Wayne. I think it's Nick Wayne and Commander.
Well,
We already know who's winning this match.
again, you know, Commander. Why is this? Commander's another one of those guys that just stay losing.
I mean, you know, Nick Wayne had a father, right?
His father's dead.
Yeah, Nick Wayne had a father. but his father's dead.
Fucking Christian Cage, son. Fucking Christian Cage.
Why they teaming Nick Wayne up with Commander?
I don't know. I guess they just trying to
range, stupid.
What's going on, Joker?
trying to find a place for him.
I mean, are we really getting this long ass vignette that we've seen already on Raw and SmackDown? Like,
Yes.
are we really that low on matches that we doing all this?
Yes.
That's crazy.
It's fucking this. Bro, this is a WWE pay-per-view. You think they're not trying to show you vignettes? They've already showed you
Are we
10
doing
times?
the world title match now?
No, this is the main event.
Oh no. We getting a John Cena segment. We getting a John Cena segment first.
He is the quote-unquote host of WrestleMania.
The host of Payback?
Oh, yeah. Not bad.
He got the new merch.
You're in already? Dude, your sign's upside down. Nobody can read what you're saying.
John Cena.
Didn't I hear you enough last night?
Yo, Payback already. I'm already bored. You just gonna hit me with this John Cena segment. Didn't we just do this on SmackDown last night? We did
Well, fuck. You know, like, look at this card, and I could have told you we were gonna be bored early on.
What's that about the
It's
background?
It's just
Oh, you mean what, the New Day and Wade Barrett dancing while somebody's getting yeeted off a scaffolding? Vic Grimes, to be precise, by New Jack. That's probably what if that's what you're asking. Yeah, that's what's going on in the background. But now we got Cena talking here. Like, this is just like, come on, this time could be dedicated to a match, honestly. Like, what is John Cena gonna tell us that he didn't tell us already on SmackDown?
damn. We got a John Cena promo, and we got a Grayson Waller effect, and the Intercontinental title's not being defended tonight, and the SmackDown Women's title's not being defended tonight, and the Women's Tag Team titles are not being defended tonight.
And the WWE Championship's not being defended.
Oh well, fuck that. We already knew that.
And now here comes The Miz.
Yawn. Yawn.
Nah, yeah, looks like they're just transitioning John Cena to Miz versus LA Knight. That's what we got going on here.
Oh, because he said he wants to be the special referee?
Maybe. You know they're gonna let John Cena give LA Knight the rub.
Yeah.
Can you hear Matt? Hold on, man. Let me see something. Say something, bro.
Something testing.
Something tested. Okay.
Bees. Bosoms. Uh,
Oh, I mean, I think he might be saying like your background in your house, probably. Background noise. No, don't worry about it. He good. He know. He'll just mute his mic if it's too loud. If it's too loud. He do need to get himself an office. Well, we'll talk about that. That's behind the scenes stuff. So he wants to ref the Miz's match.
why though?
I don't know. I guess to get over LA Knight, I guess maybe.
Why though? I wish this pay-per-view was over and I wish it was tomorrow and we were watching All Out.
Nah, you good, Joker. You alright, bro.
Like we we don't need we don't need John Cena as the referee. This is just a waste. This whole segment, this is all just a big waste of time.
Kinda is.
Well, especially when you have championships, that are not defended. Like, that's a little weird to me when you have championships that are not on the line, and you only have like five. You only have like 5 or 6 matches, but then you waste it with this shit. You wonder why people
I don't
complain about
know.
your
I don't know.
pay-per-views.
Trying to figure that out right now why there's a talking segment on a pay-per-view that's transitioning into a match. I don't understand. I don't understand why there's going to be a talk show later. We still got that Grayson Waller effect.
You're just eating time. You're just eating time from potential matches that we could have had. And again,
You might as well.
Have championships.
Might as well.
You have championships that are not being defended. Like, come on,
bro. You
man.
mean to tell me we got all this segment? We got no Intercontinental title match, no women's title match, no nothing. We can't even get a good brother in this bitch. Nothing. It's just nothing. John Cena, The Miz. We about to have LA Knight. He probably gonna get the fucking rub from Cena. And then we get the Grayson Waller effect. The greatest show everybody loves to watch. Everybody. Don't you fucking guys love it? Don't you love it, Matt? The Grayson Waller effect.
Oh, number one Grayson Waller effect. Number one WWE show.
Yeah, number one you get to see Cody Rhodes. You get to go, whoa. And Grayson Waller. And now we got LA Knight. Yeah.
The thing too is like when it's a special, usually like a special referee, it's kind of like if your special referee is a heel and he's gonna try to fuck over the babyface, and then you're trying to make it like the babyface has to overcome some kind of obstacle, and a special referee kind of makes sense in that scenario. Why are we having a babyface special referee? Just kind of doesn't make sense, you know. I don't think Collision will be canceled by next September. I think Collision will be okay. They needed a second show anyway. Like with or without CM Punk, they needed a second show. And since they've had Collision, guys like Jay White, guys like Miro, guys like Hobbs, they've gotten more play, they've gotten more screen time. So I think that they needed that second show with or without Punk. Uh, All Out. Ian says All Out's not worth $40. I mean, that's kind of subjective. Like it might not be worth $40 to you, but other people might think it's worth $40. That's kind of subjective.
That was just the internet kind of skipping a little bit, Ian. Think Papa Neil been not liking my streams for some reason.
Because he knows we're the realist.
Joker, we kind of talked about it earlier, but just to kind of give you a brief summary. I mean, it sucks, but I think it's more people to blame than just CM Punk. People
Yeah,
choose to want to go into business, and like I said, the company in a whole needs actual leadership because they don't have it.
I feel like yeah, like I feel like yeah, like it's unfortunate that like Punk it seems to constantly be immersed in this controversy. But yeah, it kind of is what it is. Like it takes two to
Oh shit!
tango.
It's Christian Cage. He's coming to talk to Nick Wayne about his father. Christian's coming to talk to Nick Wayne about his father. Oh no.
Uh, Joker says Jack Perry should have also been punished, just not suspended. Joker, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell it like this. To me, I think the firing to me is maybe a bit extreme. I think the answer probably should have been. I think the answer probably should have been is both guys should have just paid a fine, and that should have just kind of been the end of it. The firing seems to be like a knee jerk reaction, you know.
yo, why Christian trying to slide up in with Nick Wayne's mom DM, son?
She fine.
Christian trying to slide up in the DM, son.
Is she fine?
He heard Nick Wayne's father's dead, son. He said, "I'll be your daddy. I'll be your father figure." uh, and I mean, like, I feel like this is just a glorified Monday Night Raw right now. Payback.
Mhm.
Like we got show segments.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all it is. It just feels like this is just like a Raw. This doesn't feel like a pay-per-view. Like I said, since the network, their pay-per-views don't feel like pay-per-views anymore. And part of it is that they don't really have to go all out for their pay-per-views because they know you already paid for the network, right? They know they already got your money, so they can just kind of put on whatever half-baked card they want. And they could just put on whatever half-baked card they want, and then they know you got the network. You've already paid for it, so it's irrelevant.
Mm. Real quick, chat, is the stream breaking up for y'all? Because I know I'm seeing my shit drop. Is it breaking up for y'all over here?
I don't. I'm
Yeah.
watching.
Let me see.
Is it me? Do you want me to like
No, it's
log
not.
out and
It's
come back
not
in?
you. It's not you. You're fine. You're fine. It's my feed right now.
They should add Nick Wayne and Christian to the pay-per-view.
because I'm like, I know we're skipping there for a minute, man. I don't know if Papa Neil trying to boot us off or I got just too much shit running, man. We might have to cut this stream short tonight.
I mean, we could cut the stream if you want.
Cause
I feel like
I don't like that it's skipping like this.
I feel like we kind of talked about what we needed to talk about, and let's be real, like you know, this not the most exciting pay-per-view, so
Yeah.
we kind of said what we had to say.
Plus,
you know?
like this pay-per-view right now is like the card itself is just I'm really kind of tilted that there's a Grayson Waller effect going down here tonight.
So I haven't been really paying attention, and then I saw the graphic for all the matches, like, you know, where they show you all the matches like on one page.
Yeah.
And I saw Cody and Grayson Waller, and I thought, like, oh, when did they announce that match? And then when I saw that it was a Grayson Waller effect and not a match, I kind of chuckled a little bit. I kind of chuckled that we're doing a talk show segment on a pay-per-view, and it's just especially when we have championships not being defended. Like, that's the thing that pisses me off the most. Like, you have Chad Gable and Gunther fighting for the Intercontinental title on Raw. Fuck the Grayson Waller effect and put that match on the pay-per-view.
You think
Do you Ian, of course you'll take a Waller effect over over Orange Cassidy and Moxley, because you'll take anything WWE gives you. You'll take anything WWE gives you over any alternative, because you're blindly loyal to WWE. I listen. I don't mean that in any kind of way. I'm just saying, like, that's when you're kind of telling me you'd rather watch a Grayson Waller effect over a John Moxley match. Like, what do you want me to kind of tell you? Like, I think Moxley and OC kind of not really great as a main event, but I don't necessarily have an issue with the match. I don't have an issue with the match itself. Just, I think that's kind of like when you watch the whole pay-per-view and when you get to the finale and then that's your main event. I feel like it's just gonna feel a little uh like they should call audible and be like, all right, listen, MJF, Punk's out. You're gonna have to put the title on the line. You know, Punk's out. We need a world title match on the pay-per-view, so it's gonna be you. It's gonna be you in a open challenge. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or we're calling an audible, and it's gonna be you and Roddy for the world title. Like, we need a world title match. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really with that vibe. You're kind of telling me you'd rather a Grayson Waller effect over a John Moxley Orange Cassidy match. That kind of really just kind of makes it sound like you have a bias. Like I said, Mox and OC as a main event is kind of questionable, but any pro wrestling match ever is going to be better than a talking segment. I don't like the worst pro wrestling match is always going to be better than the best talking segment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I think
So
we're gonna wrap it up here because, like I said, this thing keeps my frame rates keep dropping on me over here.
All right, yeah, that's cool. We kind of touched on what we needed to.
But we'll be back here next week for some more. And hopefully Papa Neil don't want to sit here and keep dropping my frame rates.
And Papa Neil's savage.
Yeah, man, I want to keep going, but like this shit sitting there looking all red and giving me the red light, not the green light.
You know what? It is what it is, man. You know, like I said, we hit all the news stuff. We covered the card. I don't think the chat really wants to hear us shit on this boring pay-per-view all night.
All right, well, we're gonna step out of here. We'll see y'all next week. Till then, have a good night and make sure you always kick out. Thick boys out.
Time has come, I'm ready to go. Venturing into the unknown. Fire's inside me, must be unleashed. People talk nonsense all the day. Shampoo kindness, all they can say. I can't get no satisfaction. Woo-hoo, challenge may have come. Woo-hoo, fighting just begun, but there's no stopping. People spreading out my wings. Let's fly high. Woo-hoo, concentrate my power. Woo-hoo, and the final hour in the end, I'm gonna win. Don't you know I'm unstoppable? Don't even try, cause you will fall. I got a strength deep in my soul that gives me courage and control. I'll go beyond the limit break. The universe is mine to take. I have no fear. I think it's clear. Let's keep guitar high. Get all this Dragon Ball Super. We got the skill to blow Xeno rain.